ਸਿੱਖ ਧਰਮ ਦੀ ਹਰ ਗਤੀਵਿਧੀ ਅਤੇ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਹੁਣੇ ਸਬਸਕ੍ਰਾਈਬ ਕਰੋ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਅਖੰਡ ਬਾਣੀ ਅਤੇ ਨੋਟੀਫਿਕੇਸ਼ਨਸ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਬੈਲ ਨੂੰ ਰਿੰਗ ਕਰੋ।
This guy has put up with death threats, with harassment from the law enforcement agencies, the jealousy, the campaigns of hate, and 7-8 years later he's still standing here. It takes courage to work in a country like that.
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਗੁਰਪਿਆਰਿਓ ਭਾਈ ਰਵੀ ਸਿੰਘ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਉਹ ਨਾਮ ਜੋ ਸਿੱਖ ਕੌਮ ਦਾ ਇੱਕ ਚਮਕਦਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਹੀਰਾ ਹੈ। ਉਹ ਸੰਸਥਾ ਜਿਸ ਨੇ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਗਰੀਬ ਗੁਰਬਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਦੁਖੀਆਂ ਦੀ ਮਦਦ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ। ਚਾਹੇ ਕਿਤੇ ਵੀ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਨੈਚੁਰਲ ਡਿਜ਼ਾਸਟਰ ਹੋਇਆ ਹੋਵੇ, ਕਿਤੇ ਕੋਈ ਕਾਲ ਪਿਆ ਹੋਵੇ ਜਾਂ ਮਹਾਮਾਰੀ ਫੈਲੀ ਹੋਵੇ, ਉੱਥੇ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਇਹ ਸੰਸਥਾ ਪਹੁੰਚਦੀ ਹੈ ਦੁਖੀਆਂ ਦੀ ਮਦਦ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ। ਪਰ ਹਰ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੇ ਜ਼ਿਹਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਸਵਾਲ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਹੋਣਗੇ ਕਿ ਆਖਿਰ ਭਾਈ ਰਵੀ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਇਕੱਲੇ ਇਹ ਸਭ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਸਾਂਭਦੇ ਨੇ? ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਬਾਹਾਂ ਕੌਣ ਨੇ? ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਸਟਰੈਂਥ ਕੌਣ ਹੈ? ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਹਿੰਮਤ ਕੌਣ ਹੈ? ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਟੀਮ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਹੈ? ਆਓ ਜਾਣਨ ਦੀ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਭਾਈ ਰਵੀ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਦੀ ਹੀ ਜ਼ੁਬਾਨੀ, ਜੋ ਦੱਸ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਏਡ ਦੇ ਅਸਲ ਹੀਰੇ ਕੌਣ ਨੇ, ਜੋ ਗਰਾਊਂਡ ਜ਼ੀਰੋ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਜੋ ਦਿਨ ਰਾਤ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ। ਲੰਡਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਡਿਨਰ ਦੇ ਦੌਰਾਨ ਭਾਈ ਰਵੀ ਸਿੰਘ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਹੀਰਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਜ਼ਿਕਰ ਕੀਤਾ, ਖਾਲਸਾ ਏਡ ਦੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਸਿੰਘਾਂ ਦਾ ਜ਼ਿਕਰ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਕਰਕੇ ਇਹ ਸੇਵਾ ਦਿਨ ਰਾਤ ਨਿਭਾਈ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ।
ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। I'm going to keep it short, about 50 minutes. So, no, that's the Gurdwara Pradhan. So, sorry if you're a Pradhan and you're... looks like the checks are cancelled. Tough with the floods. First of all, I want to say something. There's a person that spoke not long ago. I don't think you guys really appreciate that person because we don't really understand what that person does. And we were so busy eating, all I could hear was the plates. That person is Amarpreet Singh from Punjab. If you stand up, this guy has put up with death threats, with harassment from the law enforcement agencies, the jealousy, the campaigns of hate, and 7-8 years later he's still standing here. It takes courage to work in a country like that and have volunteers, 500 to 700 volunteers, any disaster, any time, to understand how hard it is to work in a country. So we need to learn to appreciate individuals who are the real heroes. There are so many heroes in this room and who are not here today, but individuals like Amarpreet Singh, who's now hiding even lower now, right? When he was speaking, it was a bit disappointing because there was a lot of noise in the background. So when you say admiration, courage and integrity, that's Amarpreet Singh. So if you're going to Punjab, do look him up and see what he does. And secondly, I want to thank this wonderful hotel owners, Indraneil Singh, who I met about a year ago at the Mayfair Hotel, asked for support for Khalsa Aid. He said, okay, what do you need? And I said, we need a good venue, 20th anniversary. We don't want to spend the money, so can you do something? And he said, all this is laid out. What you're having today, the whole facilities, the food, is thanks to this hotel, the owner. So please give him a big round of applause. It's amazing when we look 20 years ago, where we started, 20 years now, we're in this absolutely fancy place. It really is big improvement on where Khalsa is going with the wonderful, amazing people. I'm not going to go into projects. I'm going to talk about 5 minutes maximum to about 90 minutes about the experiences. Sorry, 9 minutes. I am son of a prisoner of war. My father was a prisoner of war under the Japanese, and I'm a grandson to a man who lived in dire poverty. Our family were in extreme dire poverty in Punjab. When my grandfather was around, we didn't have a penny to rob. We were struggling. Somehow I managed to get my dad to go abroad to earn money, who then supported the family and extended family through education, funding, and he, doing so, became a prisoner of war under the Japanese in Singapore. I am also the son of a land that has suffered immense injustices, Punjab. I'm also son of a nation who has suffered genocides. But I can tell you now, the recent genocide in 35 years ago, then the several before. We don't live in hate. We don't hate anyone. We don't hate any faith. We will equally help anyone because we're not here to make judgments of people or faith due to a few individuals. And one thing my people, my Punjabi community, my village where I grew up, the blood of my ancestors have taught is not to live in hate. When you live in hate, you're tainted by hate. Everything around is hate. You reflect hate. You will lose your humanity. And I'm glad to say those of you in 1999, when we came around with buckets, we had no millionaire backers. I remember very, very clearly, 20 odd years ago, walking around buckets and saying, we're going to help Kosovan refugees in Albania. And everyone knew the refugees were Muslim, but nobody said, we're not going to help Muslims. That's really inspiring. I'm thinking, wow, we got such an amazing community that we don't judge anybody by their faith. We judge them by their plight. So 20 years later, we're still doing the same. We're helping Syrian refugees all over the Middle East and in Europe, Yazidis, disaster areas, earthquakes. I worked in Pakistan, Somalia, Iraq, Lebanon, all over the place. I never, ever, somebody says you're helping Muslims or Christians. We don't help Muslims or Christians or Sikhs. We help people like us. We were refugees. We learned the hard way that one day we can be those saviors. One thing I always hear, even now in the Punjab floods, sometimes I was talking to Amarpreet as well the other day, and people mean well. Why aren't the people helping us now when we're suffering in Punjab? Where are the people of so-and-so when we're drowning? But how can you expect help from the people who can't help themselves? They're stuck in refugee tents. They're stuck in camps. They're stuck in poverty themselves. We can't expect them to help us. Our help isn't conditional. Our help is unconditional. 20 years later, even Indy here, hands up Indy, there you go. I don't know, you were about 12 or 13 when Khalsa started, or 10 or something. He grew up in Khalsa. You got people like Manraj, individuals who grew up. There's a whole generation that grew up with Khalsa Aid, and they grew up knowing one thing, that we do not live in hate. That's when somebody says to me, why don't you go and preach? We should love one another. We're doing it through the work. It's happening. It's happened. You have made history. I asked you for an appeal in Iraq. I asked for an appeal in Lebanon. You don't say no. You empty your pockets. We have actually changed the outlook of a whole generation. Right now, we're facing another conflict in the Middle East. Right now, Susan, you heard, is planning for the next phase when tens of thousands of refugees will come to that part of Iraq where we're working. We're ready to receive them. We're ready to go. You know why we're ready? Because of you guys. You understood the message. All I got to say is, this is what we're doing for Punjab floods all over the world, Australia, Canada, America, UK, Europe. You guys have raised about £1.6 million. Can you believe it? So everything we are today is because of you and because of volunteers. We got my family here. We got individuals like Magic Singh, who's always there, picks up the phone. We got Inquisitive, who's always supporting us. We got Dips here. We got amazing personalities. Oh, there you are, let's see. We got amazing personalities who understand the message. How does a very, very small community of about 20 million people or so are so generous that you are now changing the world? How does that happen? The spirit is within us. The spirit is a savalak. We say that we can all help. Even one of us is equal to 125,000 people. And you're doing that. That spirit is right now in those camps where they've lost hope. Our turbans have become symbols of hope, symbols of humanity. On the other side, you've got people wearing turbans like ISIS, who are making our turbans make it a symbol of terror. But we are winning through love, through seva, through pyar. And that's how you answer hate. You don't answer hate with hate. You answer it with love. No matter how much hate we face, no matter what obstacles we face, We do not become fascist by pointing fingers at individuals, as we see our own politicians here and abroad right now pointing fingers at particular communities, especially at Muslims, to blame everything on Muslim immigration, on the refugees, because of their failures. It's so easy to do. Our job is to fight that. Not because people who are suffering are Muslim or Christian or whatever, because they're people. And the way we answer hate is with love. We embrace all. That's what makes the Khalsa. That's how we're going to change the world even more. That's how we continue for 20 years to change the world. When people say, oh, Ravi Singh, you've seen this, ISIS do this and that, the violence. I sat next to people. Imagine 2014, I remember going to a church, help some refugees in northern city, Erbil in Iraq. First time ever in Iraq. And I was standing by, and this person, my translator, Teddy, who's an amazing guy, he said, see those women there? There's a group of women sitting on the grass verge on the church. He goes, they all just escaped from ISIS. They've all been raped. It just went like silent. What do you say? What can you react to that? How do you react to someone telling you that? I never ever knew such violence so raw right in front of the victims. But now, 5 years later, you guys have been helping those women who thought everybody turned their backs to them. When the world turned their backs to most of these refugees were helping, you showed them love. You embraced them. When they say unofficial camps, that's exactly what unofficial camp is. When the big organizations don't reach, the governments don't reach, people like us reach. And we tell them, we're here for you. When a group of women who lost all their loved ones, the male relatives, you become their brothers and their fathers. You help them. And that's what's happening in Iraq. This 20 years has gone fast. 20 years of seeing destruction, seeing so much negativity from the community as well. Those who are absolutely hell-bent on spreading negativity, thankfully minority. We have taken those challenges on. We have grown. We're in several countries, and we continue to grow stronger because we answer hate with love. And we will continue to do that. And we've got a great team, we've got great staff, we've got great volunteers, we've got great trustees here, changes all the time. We've got a new guy, Gurbani Singh, coming on board, will be joining us soon. We've got good friends sitting on almost every table here who've been through the journey. The key is, the simple message is inspired by our faith, humanity. But we never talk about our faith when we deliver aid. We never give leaflets out. We don't say how wonderful we are. We actually get so stuck in, even we forget where we are because we are one with the people. When we're in those camps, it's the best place for me. There is no judgments. We're all working together for a better world. And you do represent something. You represent a beacon of hope. When everything is dark, when people coming with all their bags they could carry, with disabled kids, with the elderly on their backs, and they put those bags down wherever they can, and they're thinking, who's going to be here for me? You are there for them. We are there for them. And we're going to continue to do that. Takes money. We spend £1,000, you give us a 2,000. That's what's been happening. You're very generous. So we're always doing new projects. Now Iraq, like I said, is waiting to happen. There are individuals in the background putting things together. People who struggle, the children, the families, the wife there, Belle, if you can wave a little bit. There you are. People think it's my daughter because of the beard. So every time I go to hospital, oh, don't worry, we look after your father. I say, yeah, really? Okay, right, so this is what we do, this is our culture. So I remember when I was in hospital about 2015, very ill, and he goes, oh, don't worry, your daughter's coming. I said, she's at school, she's about 12. I said, okay. And Val turns up, and she goes, I'm his wife. He's thinking, oh my God, child bride. These cultures, damn, these immigrants. I said, she's 1 year younger than me, right? Oh, sorry, 10 years younger than me. There are stressful situations in every walk of life. One thing is the Chardi Kalam spirit that we're always. Why does Susan and the young Iraqi volunteers? I got a call from Susan yesterday. I said, I'm worried about the refugees. She was ready. We're ready to go, Ravi. We're ready. We got all the volunteers, young girls and boys, Kurdish. They're ready to work with us, dozens of them, because they love the work and they love the fact that Khalsa Aid are happy people. Rosie, hands up please. Rosie, who made that beautiful cake. Another round of applause for the rock cake. So I met Rosie about 3-4 months ago, early in summer, where you done a beautiful warrior seed cake, launch of a shop, Oak Furniture Land. And I said to Rosie, she's a celebrity. I'm thinking, how do I approach her? She's going to be like all snobby and, like, oh, who's this guy? I said, hi, Rosie. Hi. I said, that's great. Why don't you go in Iraq and see what they do? See how they're suffering, the girls. You're a public figure. You're a celebrity. You can talk about it. You know what she said? Let's go. So Rosie and her daughter, Lily, sorry, my fault. Just talking about Lily all the time. Lily, who's running the marathon for us tomorrow in Manchester, went to Iraq to see for themselves not only how people struggle, but how Khalsa had made changes. That's what we encourage. The whole idea of having Khalsa Aid is you go and see. So Rosie now has become a close friend. And I'm so amazed at the cake she made, a revolving cake. I'm going dizzy just looking at it. So it's amazing. And thank you, Rosie. It's wonderful, the cake, and I'm sure you all enjoyed it too, right? So it's tasty. But the point is, we have people linking from all walks of life. Amazing young talent in the community. Rosie here, individual volunteers. Fantastic. We're looking at next 20 years at a different level, where she'll be called my granddaughter, right? So there is a lot of struggle in the background to put this together. There's running around. Bel's been running the last few days. The guy's been running around. All the volunteers today. It didn't just happen. They've been running around day and night. So everyone plays a very important role. As the world changes, as it becomes a place of intolerance, a place where we judge people by their faith, we grow stronger by delivering love and hope. And I think there's meant to be a picture of Somalia, but it's gone missing. There you are. They asked me to do a slideshow. I said, I'd like to put just this one up, because I remember this really vividly, where I was traveling on a 4x4, and this little oasis, amazing, middle of nowhere in the desert appeared, and we stopped to have a break. Well, there was no services, only camel. I think even the camel had a hump when they looked at me. Several humps. So it was amazing how the kids were so, look, there's a guy on the left carrying the machine guns, because they were my bodyguards, 3, 15, 16-year-old. The Sharia Council gave me their love and respect. Welcome to our land. These 3 are your bodyguards. Wherever you go, stay in the area. We're with you. What other love can you have when you're protected by like family? They didn't judge me by their face. And those kids were so happy. They actually inspired us to do more. Unfortunately, war broke out in the region. We never traveled back. Now, hoping if settling down, we'll go back. And the next slide, the only other slide which I asked for, was that one, my mom. She's always here at the dinners, but right now she's flying from the USA, and she's going to be very unhappy when she sees that dinner's all over. So hopefully there's some cake left for her. Although she got diabetes, she loves the sweets. Like Punjabi families, don't put sugar in my tea, just give me a laddu with it. So she's put up with a lot growing up, and now my wife puts up with a lot. So it's like sharing the load now, both of them. And I've been one sort of like whirlwind in my mum's life, and I don't know how I survived really. So she's such a brave lady. So I just want to say thank you. If you can give a round of applause to all the volunteers today. And one thing I do want, next time I get introduced, I want that music. Will the real Slim Shady please stand up? Please stand up. And I want to walk to the stage, right? Because every time at the Gurdwara, they really get carried away. Like they sing so many of my praises, I'm thinking my body is too small, my head is expanding. And all I think in my head is I'm going to walk up there. Dun, 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 dun. So there you go, see? There you go. You got it, look. That's what I want. and it played, not all the lyrics though. So that's how I see myself. This is how Ravi Singh is. I love my hip hop, I love this sort of stuff. And when I'm driving around, somebody sees me and then I've got that playing. They go, what the hell is it? So it's been an amazing 20 years. And I say my last message is, again, it's the same message I repeat again and again. Don't let the world change you. Change the world around you. And that's the only way we're going to get through together. Thank you very much.
Ravi, we just want you to stay for a little bit longer. In fact, if you can make your way back onto stage, we have Inquisitor.
ਗੁਰਪਿਆਰਿਓ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਇਸ ਸੰਸਥਾ ਨੂੰ ਦਿਨ ਦੁਗਣੀ ਰਾਤ ਚੌਗਣੀ ਤਰੱਕੀ ਬਖਸ਼ੇ। ਦਿਲੋਂ ਹਰ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੀ ਇਹੀ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ, ਇਹੀ ਦੁਆਵਾਂ ਨਿਕਲਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਭਾਈ ਰਵੀ ਸਿੰਘ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਨੂੰ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਲੰਬੀਆਂ ਉਮਰਾਂ ਬਖਸ਼ੇ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਭਾਈ ਰਵੀ ਸਿੰਘ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਜ਼ਹਿਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਉਂਦਿਆਂ ਹੀ ਇੱਕ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਦੀ ਛਵੀ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਆ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ। ਇੰਜ ਜਾਪਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਬਾਬੇ ਨਾਨਕ ਦਾ ਇਹ ਕੋਈ ਭੇਜਿਆ ਹੋਇਆ ਦੂਤ ਹੈ ਜੋ ਸਮਾਜ ਸੇਵਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਲੋਕ ਭਲਾਈ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਹੋਇਆ ਹੈ, ਜੋ ਕਿਸੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਰੰਗ ਭੇਦ ਦਾ ਫਰਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦਾ, ਜੋ ਕਿਸੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾਤ ਪਾਤ ਦਾ ਫਰਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦਾ, ਜਿਸ ਦੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਕੋਈ ਉੱਚਾ ਨੀਵਾਂ ਅਮੀਰ ਗਰੀਬ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ, ਜਿਸ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਹਰ ਕੋਈ ਇਨਸਾਨ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਇਹ ਇਨਸਾਨ ਹਰ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਇਨਸਾਨੀਅਤ ਦੇ ਨਾਤੇ ਹੀ ਬੁਲਾਉਂਦਾ ਹੈ, ਇਨਸਾਨੀਅਤ ਦੇ ਨਾਤੇ ਹੀ ਪਿਆਰ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ। ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਇਨਸਾਨ ਚਾਹੇ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਹੀ ਅਮੀਰ ਕਿਉਂ ਨਾ ਹੋਵੇ ਜਾਂ ਗਰੀਬ ਕਿਉਂ ਨਾ ਹੋਵੇ। ਅਜਿਹੇ ਇਨਸਾਨ ਦੁਨੀਆ 'ਚ ਬਹੁਤ ਘੱਟ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਜੋ ਆਪਣੇ ਨਿੱਜਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮਾਰ ਕੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਜੀਂਦੇ ਨੇ, ਜੋ ਸਮਾਜ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਜੀਂਦੇ ਨੇ, ਲੋਕ ਭਲਾਈ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਜੀਂਦੇ ਨੇ, ਜੋ ਸਰਬੱਤ ਦੇ ਭਲੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਜੀਂਦੇ ਨੇ। ਤੇ ਅਜਿਹੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦਾ, ਅਜਿਹੀਆਂ ਸੰਸਥਾਵਾਂ ਦਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਵੱਧ ਚੜ੍ਹ ਕੇ ਸਾਥ ਦੇਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਜੋ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਵਿੱਚ ਆ ਰਹੀ ਗਿਰਾਵਟ ਨੂੰ ਰੋਕਿਆ ਜਾ ਸਕੇ, ਤਾਂ ਜੋ ਮਰੀ ਹੋਈ ਇਨਸਾਨੀਅਤ ਨੂੰ ਜਗਾਇਆ ਜਾ ਸਕੇ, ਤਾਂ ਜੋ ਮੈਂ ਕਰਕੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਵੱਡਾ ਜਤਾਉਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਘਟੀਆ ਮਸੰਦਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਤਾਇਆ ਜਾ ਸਕੇ ਕਿ ਅੱਜ ਵੀ ਜਾਗਦੀਆਂ ਜ਼ਮੀਰਾਂ ਵਾਲੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਜਿਉਂਦੇ ਨੇ। ਫਿਰ ਮਸੰਦ ਜਿੰਨੀ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰ ਲੈਣ ਕਿਸੇ ਵੀ ਘੱਟ ਗਿਣਤੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਨਿਸ਼ਾਨਾ ਬਣਾਉਣ ਦੀ ਜਾਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਵੀ ਕੌਮ ਨੂੰ ਢਾਹ ਲਾਉਣ ਦੀ, ਅੱਜ ਵੀ ਬਾਬੇ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇ ਦੂਤ ਜਿਉਂਦੇ ਨੇ, ਅੱਜ ਵੀ ਕਲਗੀਧਰ ਦੇ ਸਿੰਘ ਜਿਉਂਦੇ ਨੇ, ਜੋ ਕਦੇ ਵੀ ਕਿਸੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਵੀ ਮਾੜੀ ਘੜੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਣ ਦੇਣਗੇ, ਨਾ ਸਿੱਖ ਕੌਮ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਢਾਹ ਲਾਣ ਦੇਣਗੇ। ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਭ ਇਸ ਮਸਲੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਕੀ ਸੋਚਦੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਨੀਚੇ ਕਮੈਂਟਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਦੇਣਾ। ਵੀਡੀਓ ਚੰਗੀ ਲੱਗੀ ਹੋਵੇ ਲਾਈਕ ਤੇ ਸ਼ੇਅਰ ਵੀ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਕਰਨਾ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਸਿੱਖ ਧਰਮ ਦੀ ਹਰ ਗਤੀਵਿਧੀ ਅਤੇ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਹੁਣੇ ਸਬਸਕ੍ਰਾਈਬ ਕਰੋ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਅਖੰਡ ਬਾਣੀ ਅਤੇ ਨੋਟੀਫਿਕੇਸ਼ਨਸ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਬੈਲ ਨੂੰ ਰਿੰਗ ਕਰੋ।